Welcome to Evolve, where we have fearless, unfiltered, unapologetic conversation with host Chanel Spencer, author, speaker, and CEO of Maximum Evolution. Are you ready? I hope you're ready.
Hello, beautiful people, and welcome back to another episode of Evolve, where we have fearless, unfiltered, and unapologetic conversation because it's just mandatory over here. Like, we are authentically and genuinely ourselves. You either like it, love it, or hate it. Most people love and like it, so it is what it is. So today, as you know, we have a special series for a lovely project that we've been working on, The Evolution Effect, where we have 20 authors discussing how we have broken patterns, overcome adversities, and stepped into our greatness. And today, I have a special guest, one of my top and favorite authors. Okay, fine, I love all of my authors, but you know what I'm saying. Yvonne Brown. Say hello to the beautiful people.
Hello, beautiful people. Thank you, Chanel. I'm so happy to be here.
Yes, thank you. I was happy for you to be a part of this. So, just a little bit about Yvonne. She is a native of Philadelphia, Pennsylvania. She is making her mark as a woman empowerment coach. She is driven by a desire to help women to soar beyond their past and to become the best version of themselves. Yes, as a project manager for over 10 years, Yvonne frequently found herself being a source of support and knowledge for other women in the workplace and other areas of her life. In 2020, she decided to launch a coaching business to be able to utilize her gift fully and to be accessible to even more women. Yes, I love it. Love it. Is your academy the Affirm Pursue Academy?
Yes, the Affirm Pursue Academy.
I love that.
Yes, thank you.
And she has her own t-shirt line, Mindful Tees Boutique. I love that. Love that. Listen, I like to be surrounded by powerful women, and that's making moves.
Yes.
And making this coin. Okay.
Yes. Movers and shakers. Yes, we are. We are about that life. That's me.
So, first question, let's get into your chapter. What made you title your chapter 12 Years to My Exhale?
Well, I didn't know, honestly, it was going to be titled that until I finished the write-up of it. And so once I was done and I looked back and thought back to my journey up until getting to my point of exhaling, I was like, yeah, it's about 12 years. It was 12 years until I was able to release and breathe again. And so I felt that there was no fitting title than 12 years to my exhale. Mm-hmm. And I wanted it to be intentional in terms of a date or a time frame, because to me, it kind of brought a sense of how far I had come, right? And how long I had been dealing with traumas and dealing with feeling like I didn't love myself and dealing with being in a toxic situation as it related to my family. And so, yeah, the title was just fitting when I just went back and reviewed what I had written, because I was toiling with what I wanted to title the write-up, and I didn't know. And so, yeah, I guess you could say I just went into my sacred place and I just asked God to just give me what he needed to give me. And that's what we both agreed on. 12 years to my exhale.
Mm-hmm. I love that. Love that. Mm-hmm. I really do. I love the play on words, and I love what you discussed in your chapter, because sometimes it is a process, right? And it literally is an exhale, because for so long you feel like you're just holding your breath as you're going through life. And then when you finally have that moment of peace and freedom, it's just like, finally.
Yeah.
Like when you let go of grudges, or you let go of pain, or you let go of hurt, or whatever's happening to your life, it just feels so freeing. Like, like
it is freeing.
Exactly.
Yes, it is freeing. And This write-up, I went I went as deep as I allowed myself to go, right? Because in my home, it was a time of secrets. And when I tell you, this is for those who are listening to this, secrets will destroy your life. It will destroy your life. And the enemy used secrets in my family to almost destroy us. But guess what? He didn't win. So that's my glory story on the other side of this. He didn't win. And I thank God for that. But secrets almost destroyed my family. And the part that I didn't share in here was how my mom got entangled with my stepdad, which I term as a wolf in the chapter. My father had passed away. My father had been sick for quite some time. And so my mom, when I think back to the amazing woman that she is and continues to be, but in that moment, I just realized that she went through a lot. She even had trauma, and he found her in a vulnerable space and knew that. And even now, I see my mom sometimes. She'll have moments where she's just in solace and she's thinking, and she'll have moments where she'll tear up. And I tell you, secrets, don't hold secrets, because that's what the enemy wants to do, is tear apart families that he know are going to be victorious on the other side. And it almost destroyed my family because of someone who came in that had secrets. It wasn't exposed. And then within growing up in that toxic environment, holding secrets almost destroyed us. And so I just say, I'm glad that we were able to come out on the other side of it. And the lump in my throat is no longer there. And that's the analogy that I use. It's like when you have this lump in your throat and you're trying to swallow and it just won't go away. Like that's the best way I could have described it in that entire period of my life. The feeling suffocated, knowing that there's something going on, but as a child, you can't do anything with it. Like seeing that there's tenseness in the home, seeing favoritism. There was a lot of times when me and my mom, our relationship wasn't the best because, they tell you when you're married, the two shall become one. So for her, it was her husband first. But I saw things, Chanel, and I don't know how to describe this. I saw things, but it wasn't clear what I saw. Like I didn't, for a moment in time, I didn't allow myself to exhale because it's kind of like I didn't want to believe it, right? And so when the secret was exposed, it was almost like it was too late, right? And so my 12 years to my exhale, in that chapter, it talks about kind of those moments in time, and it talks about the guilt that I carried and how I wasn't able to really rescue my siblings because I didn't know how. But I couldn't hold that, and I didn't want to hold that. And I thank God for just keeping my mind in perfect peace, keeping my mother out of jail, because that's real talk.
Right. Like things could have went real left real fast.
Oh, it almost did. Mm-hmm. My mom is tiny, but she is strong. Like, it almost did. Like there were moments throughout it where it could have went left, and then we could have been without a parent. So my biological father had already passed, mm-hmm. and then my mom, we could have been like, it could have went real left real quick. So the 12 years to an exhale, it encompasses so many things. Being free of guilt, being free of the secrets, forgiving myself, loving more on my siblings, having a stronger relationship with my mom now, and realizing that the word is very clear, because I'm a Christian. The word is very clear when God says, vengeance is his and he will repay, and being okay with that. Right. And
Right.
it wasn't overnight. It wasn't overnight, but being okay that the word says what it says and that it cannot return void. And so, understanding that God, you're going to do whatever you want to do, and you're going to do it in your time.
Mm-hmm.
And so, I just wanted to share that. Mm-hmm.
No, and it's powerful for you to share. Like, one of the hardest things to do is to go back to your past, and I call it unpack the luggage, and to like
Yes.
to talk about things and to face things that you may have suppressed. I say sometimes you leave it in the airport thing, hoping the luggage never shows up ever again and lost and found, right? Or, or just things that you just haven't had to deal with because, you still kind of have to move on with life, right? Some people like literally get stuck in that time and age mentally where they're the things that they experienced, so they don't develop and mature in certain ways, right? And like sometimes the things that we experience literally become the definition of who we are, because we wear it on our sleeves, on our face, in our behaviors, what we do, how we do. And some people don't even understand that concept. So it's a major deal that you understand what you have gone through, and you are now using this platform to share your story, because it can impact so many. Like, I can literally sit here. I rarely talk about the things that I experienced as a child, but it's the most like detrimental time for us, because that's where we start learning things and seeing things, and we start to believe that certain things that aren't normal are normal when we become adults, and then we start to mimic those behaviors or mimic those things that we've experienced. So I think that it's like amazing for you to be who you are today, and understand that, hey, and recognize that, hey, there are things that I experienced, but these are things that I no longer want to have control over who I am and what my possibilities are.
No, because I realized that, the evil forces out there would have me think otherwise. And, I don't want to be trapped in my mind like that. Like, I don't want to be, God has so much for me to do in this life, and I don't want to have any regrets, and I don't want to be disobedient to the call. And so for me, I had to raise up my hands and say, you know what, God, whatever you're going to do, show me what it is that I need in order to propel myself forward to do it. Right. And one of the things was understanding that forgiveness piece is key, because I don't want to forgive nobody that caused harm to my family. For what? And in the way that it was done, like, there wasn't even any justice to this point, right? In terms of human justice, in terms of law enforcement of this land. The only justice that we have is in what God says in his word, that vengeance is his. But understanding that I cannot show up as an authentic person to the women that I choose to serve if I myself haven't gone through the process, right? And I myself haven't gone through healing, and I myself haven't gone through forgiveness, like forgiving myself of guilt, forgiving myself of not acting when I felt an impulse and not really being sure. I don't know. Like, I don't know how to describe it, but I understand that there's no way that I can be at 100 and some percentage,
right,
if I don't allow those parts of me to be made whole. Right. And so when you look back, and when I think back to where I was and where I am now, there's no way that I could be here now speaking as freely, because guess what? That lump in my throat still existed. Right. So now I'm able to, and when I cry now, I'm not crying because I'm hurt. I'm crying because of tears of joy, right? I'm crying because I understand that it could have ended up another way for me and my family, right? Because there are so many people, and let's keep it real, Chanel, there are so many people who, their lives, when they're traumatized and when they go through something as serious as that, they don't come out on the other side of it, right?
100%.
They may deal with trauma for so long, and I don't want generational curses to be anywhere near my family.
Amen.
I have nieces, I have nephews. You know, I need them to understand that, yes, this happened, this occurred, but it's not going to flow over into them, right? It's not going to flow over into the generations to come, because we need strong leaders, right? We need you to be whole. We need you to go forth right now with the call that has been given to you, and understand that there are going to be moments where you're going to be given an assignment, and it's okay if you don't understand it right away, like what's happening to you, right? But I need you to understand that whatever the devil thought was going to happen, it stopped right here with Yvonne. Like, I'm not about that. And I will cover them directly and indirectly. I believe in pouring out. I believe in covering them. I believe putting on oil. Like, it's not going to come here, and it needed to stop, because like I said before, secrets almost destroyed this family, right? So I don't want them to grow up like that. I don't want them to grow up in an environment, like, we already have enough going on outside of our homes in this world, right? And so, because we are called to be set apart, right? It is my duty to do that, to ensure that they understand how precious they are and whose they are, right? And you cannot do that fully if you're caught up in all of these distractions. And the distraction is trauma. It is a distraction, right? It's trauma. It's not dealing with your self-healing. It's not getting to your exhale. It's not realizing that, you know what, this happened to you, but guess what, daughter, I've been there all along. And some people may not understand that, but I now understand what that means. And did I want to go through it? Absolutely not. I didn't want to go through it. I didn't understand what was going on. Nobody wants to go through that.
Right.
But God, when I think to where I am now, I'm like, Lord, have mercy. There was a reason. Like, I'm here talking to you. I would have never thought that this going through that would have brought me to this moment. Going through that would have allowed me to step into the call for my life, creating an academy, Affirm and Pursue, helping women learn to love themselves more, understanding that no matter what happened to you, it does not matter anymore. God sees you, and he still calls you as great. He still loves you, right? And I need you to believe that. I need you to believe that there are people praying for you, right? Me, I'm praying for you. I'm pouring out, and I'm doing everything that I can to make sure that you're whole, and you understand that. Circle of trust, I'm here. Support, I'm here. Accountability, I'm here. And until we have more people doing that, you know, there's always going to be women who feel like they don't have that circle of trust. And I don't want that to ever be me. I don't ever want to be a stumbling block to no one. And so I'm being obedient in the call and doing what I need to do to ensure that I impact as many women as possible.
Right. Yes. Like, listen, like, it's so important and it's so powerful for you to again recognize it, right? Like you said, there are some people that literally get stuck in what they've been experienced and don't come out on the other side, whether it's because of those type of situations where something happens to the child or something happens to the mother, or it becomes really detrimental to the family. And then at the same time, because of the trauma, it impacts you. Trauma impacts you mentally, emotionally, physically, financially, spiritually.
Yes.
And it can literally, like, I know this because same thing, same situations for me. And it was daunting. Like, I was miserable. Like I was always on edge. I was angry. Everything aggravated me. I had zero patience. I was the kindest person in the world, right? Like, loving, yay, rainbows and sprinkles. And then on the other side, I'm like, because I was carrying so much pain and so much frustration and so much trauma, and I didn't realize it. And it wasn't until I had that aha moment to be like, yeah, like, no, like, this is literally controlling my life. This is literally dictating my day to day. This is literally dictating my future if I don't face it and deep dive and figure out how to move forward and release it all. And that's what happens. And it comes through in so many different ways. Like, it's unreal how it comes through in your life in so many different ways. If you don't do anything, if you suppress anything, it's gonna come out. Like, whether somebody pissed you off today and you just suppress it, it's gonna come out in your attitude, or it's gonna come out in a different way. So you always want to just deal with it, maybe in the right time though, when you're ready to receive and you're ready to release is when you deal with it. Because if not, then it's just a weight that you carry. So you're absolutely right. You're absolutely right. And in your chapter, you literally said that the years of dealing with the wolf were unbearable. It even caused a break in my relationship with my mom for some time. It was a lousy movie filled with sadistic, selfish, fear-ridden, male-dominating behavior that as a young child, I couldn't do anything about.
Yes. Yeah. I tried, but my mom, so my trying was, she'll tell you if you ever talk to her. I'm very much like my biological father, in attitude, and like, I'm no nonsense. I don't have time for the foolishness. And so I was that child who challenged things. So when he did certain things, that I called BS, right? I challenged that. I was that child in the household, and my mom was like, "What are you doing?" I'm not listening to him. That's what I'm doing. Like, what do you mean you're not? Because I'm not. Why? Because he's not my dad. Like, I had that mouth. Like, I was, because I saw there, and you know what, Dad? Thank you, Jesus. My discernment, now that I'm talking to you about this, my discernment was there. Oh my goodness. There was something not pleasing, right? And my mom said I was being disrespectful, but for me, Chanel, I think I didn't call it as, I didn't see it as being disrespectful. I called it as what it was. You were pitting me and my sisters against one another because you were molesting my sisters, and you were doing things to cover it up. Right. You were saying things to cover it up. You were trying to throw your weight around as an authoritative figure in the home, trying to institute, I guess what you call discipline. And I wasn't for it. I wasn't for the bullying. I wasn't for the discipline. And I wish that you would touch me. Like, I was that child in the household. That was me. And that's one of the reasons why for a while, you know, me and my mom, our relationship wasn't, because she didn't know what was going on. My mom worked at night. So this was occurring when she wasn't here, right? She didn't know.
Right.
She did not know. So he was very cunning and very slick. Very slick. Very slick.
Aren't they all?
Very slick. And so I made no apologies for standing up to him. Made none whatsoever to this day. I don't even think I asked God for forgiveness for it, because for me, it was me doing my best as a child to do what I could do. And yeah, hands were laid because of quote unquote disobedience, but whatever. At that time, I just was like, if I'm going to take it, I'm going to take it. But I'm not bowing down, quote unquote, to what you're laying, because I know what you're doing.
Right. And so like, as a child, just like it's, oh my gosh, like, It's so life-changing having those experiences, because it then puts you in a place where you have a lack of trust of authority figures, and then you don't know who to trust, because then you feel like everybody is a demon in some kind of way. And then also you, in the beginning, you trust these individuals because they are an authoritative figure. And it's like a double whammy on both sides, because as a child, you're looking for security, you're looking for stability, you're looking for the people that are supposed to protect you to be protectors. And when they aren't, it leaves you as a child, as a teenager, as an adult, to feel a lack of trust, to feel insecure, it's so impactful. And then you feel like a victim all the time, because it's just like you just don't know, like you don't know who to feel safe with. You don't know. It's like, okay, when are you gonna turn on the other side? Like, you know what I'm saying? For the world, like, it's like everybody, friends, it just becomes a thing, and it's something that's in your mind, and it might be consciously or subconsciously. And it's like, if you don't deal with it, it just festers. It really does. And for you to share all of this and share it I know there are so many people that have had similar experiences, and I didn't know, like, I read your chapter, but in like these particular moments and these particular experiences, it's like, wow. You know what I mean? Like, and sometimes it can literally, like you said, some people don't come out on the other side because
They don't.
right, because you suppress it by starting to use drugs, or you suppress it with alcohol, or you suppress it and become mentally ill. Like, it's just so many ways that it can literally take you out. So for you to be here and be able to share your story and have your company, and like, period, stepping into greatness. Okay, just say it.
Yes. Gotta do it. Gotta do it.
Right, exactly. And
Gotta
then in your chapter, there was a part that I absolutely loved, when you were talking about how you came to the other side of the trauma. You know what I mean? And you're like, I just needed to get there. I had to get to the other side of the white rain, the other side of guilt, shame, hurt, and learn to forgive those who hurt me. When God brought me to a sacred place and surrounded me with spiritual leaders who interceded for my family and me, it is when the release began.
Yes. So I I have a very tight-knit circle. And I don't know if that's because I'm an introvert. It may be. I'm very discerning with who I allow in my space, and even more so now, because I understand that the assignment that's on my life is very precious. And so, but going back to that moment, that part in the chapter, when it was exposed, when he was exposed, it was shame. Like, we felt shameful, confused. I was very, very angry. I was very angry because not even the law could hold him, because the statutes of limitation had ran out. So you felt trapped. The only type of consult that we could get was through the prayers of those who knew what it meant to intercede. And I'm not talking about the 5-minute prayers of, oh, thank you, Lord. Da, da, da. No, I'm talking about people who poured out for us. My family had transitioned to another fellowship, and the pastor at that time was an anointed man of God. His leadership team anointed. They prayed over us. They anointed us with oil. They cast out whatever was in us that was not of God. Like, that was a spiritual moment for our family, and for me especially. And that's when I say in the chapter, I was able to begin to release again, meaning I knew that at the end of it all, it was going to be okay. It was going to be okay in the sense that we had now found people who truly empathized with us, and who truly cared about our well-being, and who understood the breaking down of generational curses, and understood that the devil was not going to take this and do what he wanted to do with it.
Right.
And so because of that sacred place, because of that moment in time, I felt good. Like I felt for the first time in a long time that I could be transparent.
Yep.
I could actually have conversations. I could see that my sisters were doing better. We were in an environment of safety, and I couldn't say that before. And I was just thanking God for that. So that part in the book was true. The sacred place was being in a safe place where people of God rallied around us and took us through and helped us get through that season of our lives.
Right.
Yeah.
Wow. Powerful, powerful, powerful.
Yeah.
Powerful.
And it's important. I will say that it's important. It's important that you have an upper room.
Yes.
It's important that you have people who are not afraid to fight on your behalf against the enemy. It's important because there were moments where you couldn't utter anything. There were moments, and sometimes you need to reach out and say, hey, I need you guys to come on in and intercede right now, because this is not going well. So when I talk about in my group, I do many lives on, it's important that you surround yourself with like-minded people. Yeah, in the business space, but also in the spiritual realm. Right? I don't need everybody. I don't need everyone praying for me, because I don't know if your heart is pure. I'm just keeping it real.
Exactly.
I don't know. No judgment.
No,
I'm just saying,
right, though.
I don't know the fruits that you bear. So, it's important. I will say this to those that are listening. You need to make sure that who you surround yourself with, they truly do love and care about you.
Yes.
They understand what's going on around here. And so, we have that. We have people that love us and pray for us all the time. Even before I even got on this call, Chanel, I just reached out to my upper room. Like, I need you guys on it, Yvonne. We on it. We praying.
Right.
It don't matter when. It don't matter what time of day. It don't matter where I'm at. Whenever I need them, I call on them. So it's important that you make sure you surround yourself with people who genuinely care about you.
Yes, you are.
And want the best for you.
Listen, it's super important. And again, touching on that, the support system is important. Having the right people in your circle, having the right mentors, the right coaches, the right spiritual advisors in your corner is so important. It's so, as bad as we want to be like, we could do it all on our own. Yeah, no, it's impossible. Yeah. Trust me. Yeah. It is. You need someone, even if it's just one friend, you need someone that is in your corner to support you emotionally, mentally, physically, and be there for you, because it's hard to do things alone. Like, trust me, like, it's a whole other conversation, but the entrepreneur journey, woo, doing it alone, no, you'll be ready to scream and throw stuff and break through the wall if you do it by yourself. You know what I mean? You just need someone. And so find the right people to surround yourself with. And sometimes it's hard because people wear lovely masks, but people always expose themselves, and it always comes out. What's in the dark comes out into light at some point.
Yes.
So
yes.
so
the light broke the darkness. I mean, that's Bible.
Exactly. So what's next for you?
Well, what's next for me is I want to continue on my assignment. I'm going to do some more courses. I'm very big on paying down debt. I'm very big on making sure women understand the importance of being financially secure. because my story way back when I was in a place where I wasn't. And so I want to make sure, especially in this current climate, I want to push through on that, you know, and show up and share with women and teach women how to get their financial matters. So I do that in my academy. And I also want to hopefully, you know, continue sharing things, these empowerment messages, authoring more books, because now that I see how powerful it is for people to hear what you've been through so that it can heal them, I definitely want to do more of that and just be a light in this world, right? And show up every day, giving 120%, sowing into this earth and bearing fruit. That's what's next for me. And making sure that whoever I impact can come back and say, Yvonne, thank you. Thank you for being you. Thank you for being transparent. And this is what I gleaned from you being all of those things. So yeah, that's what I have coming up. Just, my academy, and also working more on some inspirational apparel items in my Mindful Tees boutique. I am working on a couple of shirt releases for the queens. Yeah. So I'm excited about that as well. So yes.
Definitely want to show you, because you know I love taking my pictures. Okay. Be like,
yes,
okay.
yes. I got you. Yes.
So do you have any final words for the audience?
Yes, I do. I want to say that it took me 12 years to my exhale, right? And it was a long time, right? But that was my time. That's not God's time. And God's time, he was working on me all along. So I just want to say that moment, that breakthrough that you are trying to get through, just realize it'll happen at the right time for you. And when it does happen, listen, share your glory story, because you never know who needs your medicine. There's a quote, and there's a quote that I leave in my chapter at the end. It says, your story has medicine for a wounded soul. It is so true. It does. It does. You never know what sharing what you have been through can do for another human being. You never know. So don't be ashamed of it. I understand that it will take you some time to process. I understand that it will take you some time to get there, but you will get there. You have to get there, because guess what? You are called to be great. You are called to be powerful. You are called to make a mark in this world, right? And because you are called by the Father upstairs, there's nothing anybody can throw at you to stop you from doing what you are called to do. Yep. So yes. Yeah, that's all. Thank you so much.
Listen. No worries. And how can the audience connect with you?
Yes, so I am on several social media outlets. My Instagram handle is at Yvonne Brown Exhales. And then you can also find me on my Affirm and Pursue Facebook group as well. So you just type in Affirm &Pursue.
Gotcha. Yes. Listen. Again, I thank you for being on the show. I thank you for being a part of this project. Your story is, so like, it gave me chills reading it. And one, because I completely understand your experience and what you've gone through, because we have similar stories. And I literally love how you take your message and you are now empowering women all over, and it's powerful. And sometimes, you know, we as women, we literally have like crab in the barrel mentality versus collabing together and taking over the world.
Yes.
So I absolutely love everything that you do, and I'm excited to continue to see your level of success and taking over the world and coming out with more books, because I see more books coming out for you, girl.
I see it. I will manifest everything that I desire, Chanel. I will manifest everything that I desire. So I thank you. I thank you for seeing something in me. And, you know, if I can just share this with your audience, I met Chanel one time and we connected. One time. And so she will forever be someone that I look to for wise counsel. She will forever be someone that I hold near and dear to my heart because of what you are doing, right? With what you're doing with your platform. So I applaud you for that. And I just thank you for the opportunity.
Yes, no, like, oh, you're amazing. And I love what you're doing. And like she said, like what was it, the bridge? Where did we meet?
Yes, it was, I don't know if it was the bridge. It was another event. But I know it, with Dr. Stevie, but I know it was within one of her breakout
right,
sessions.
Where we did the breakout, right?
Yes,
I remember that. I was like, yes, I found you on Facebook. Yeah.
Yes, and we just connected. And listen, when I tell you that, and you could probably relate to this a little bit, when you just show up and you just do the work, God will bring people into your life, right, to help you fill out the gaps, the spaces that you're unsure, right? And so to your audience, I will say, like, you may not know, like, from day to day how to pursue certain things, but I promise you that if you just wake up every morning and you do an intentional routine and you just ask God to just show up, throw your weight around in my situation, whatever you have for me today, just show me who I need to connect with. He will do it. Right. I am a living witness, because that's how I connected with Chanel. And I'm still connecting with people because I've been obedient to the call, and I'm not slowing up. I'm not slowing up. So yeah, this is purpose driven. This is purpose driven.
I love it.
Purpose driven.
Mm-hmm. Thank you so much for
being
a part of this project. Thank you for being here with our lovely listening audience. Thank you to our lovely listening audience for tuning in. And if you have not gotten your copy of The Evolution Effect, you need to go get your copy right now.
Yes.
Not tomorrow, right now. And make sure that you are ready and registered for our virtual book launch that will be coming sooner rather than later. I'm super, super excited. Mm-hmm. I thank you for your time, Yvonne. I thank you for sharing your stories. I know it is not easy to deep dive into things that we've experienced that were like, traumatizing to us. But it's important. It's therapeutic. It's a form of release for us to just be like, this happened to me, but it does not define me. So I'm super proud of you and everything that you are doing. And to our lovely listening audience, thank you for tuning in, and we will see you next time. Bye.
Yes. Bye-bye.
Thank you for tuning in to Evolve. Stay fearless, unfiltered, and unapologetic. Until next time, special shout out to all of our amazing listeners. You are truly appreciated. Follow our host, Chanel Spencer, at Chanel Spencer Now on Instagram and Facebook. Songs I'm From the South by D21 from Black Mob Entertainment off the 720 God album. Find him on Instagram at only D21.
I'm from the South. I'm from the South. Unit 10. Straight out the South. We'll hit this rock gold teeth straight out your mouth. My niggas don't know peace. Fuck is you saying though? Homies he playing though. Know my old dudes bring more than a candle. Bring the heat to them. There they keep talking. Know that they would end. Little dogs barking. Step across the line. Peace out.